Hello, teacher. My name is Daniela Oñate, and I welcome you to a research project developed at the Universidad Popular del Cesar. The title is Strengthening Listening and Pronunciation in English through the use of movies among students of the Spanish and English degree. So, this project was born from the need to innovate in language teaching. Instead of relying only on grammar and translation, we wanted to explore how audiovisual resources, especially films, can help students improve their listening comprehension and pronunciation. In this presentation, I'll walk you through the context. So, learning a foreign language is a complex process. In many universities, English is still taught with traditional methods that emphasize grammar rules and reading exercises. While these are important, they often leave students unprepared for real communication. At UPC, students in the Spanish and English degree face an additional challenge: the limited exposure to native speakers. This situation raises a key question: how can we bring real life English into the classroom? Films provide a solution. They expose students to dialogues, accents, cultural situations, making the learning experience more authentic and engaging.
Hello teacher, my name is Paula Sarmiento and in this section of the video I will explain the significance and purpose of this research. One of the main reasons why this research is significant is because it directly affects our own academic formation in the bachelor's degree in Spanish and English education at Universidad Popular del Cesar. In our program, we are required to graduate with a C2 level of English proficiency. This means we are expected to reach a near native level in all language skills, especially listening and speaking. However, through classroom observation and academic experience within our own space, we have noticed that many students still struggle with listening, comprehension, and pronunciation. This creates a clear gap between the institutional expectation and the actual performance of students. And this gap is especially important because we are not only language learners, we are future English teachers. If our listening and pronunciation skills are not fully developed, this could later affect the quality of instruction we provide in our own classrooms. According to Brown and Kuhn, educational research should begin with real problems observed in specific contexts. In our case, the challenge of achieving C2 level listening and pronunciation competence within our program represents a concrete and observable issue. Additionally, empirical studies report the idea that audiovisual materials, particularly films, can improve listening and pronunciation skills. For example, Williams and colleagues found that audiovisual resources enhance linguistic performance in higher education. Ovalles and Chacon demonstrated that films improve pronunciation and communicative competence. However, although these studies show positive results in other contexts, there is limited research focused especially on our program at Universidad Popular del Cesar. For this reason, this study becomes particularly significant as it seeks to determine whether film based instruction can help our students ourselves meet the C2 requirement more effectively. So, this research is significant because it addresses a real academic challenge within our own program, responds directly to an institutional graduation requirement, and contributes to the professional preparation of future English teachers. Therefore, the purpose of this research is to explore whether the integration of films as a pedagogical resource can be academically justified as a strategy to strengthen listening comprehension and pronunciation among students at the Spanish and English degree at Universidad Popular del Cesar. It is important to clarify that our intention is not simply to argue that movies are interesting or that students like films. Instead, following the research designed principles proposed by Brown and Kuhn in 2015, our objective is to move systematically from problem identification to research framing.
Hello, teacher. This is Sullivan Ocampo, and this is my video defense about the work that we developed using films to improve listening comprehension and pronunciation in English as a foreign language. So, first, I would like to explain why this topic matters. In many higher education contexts, especially in Colombia, students have a very limited exposure to native English speakers. This makes it harder to develop listening skills and an accurate pronunciation. So, our research builds on previous studies that show how authentic films can provide natural pronunciation model as well as improve listening comprehension. In this work, we conducted a systematic literature review using four databases: Scopus, ERIC, Web of Science, and ScienceDirect. Through these databases, we identified key studies such as SARI and Aminatum in 2021, which showed that English films significantly enhance listening skills. Another one is a study by Rao in 2019 that demonstrated that the exposure to authentic films also improves the pronunciation. In addition, a third study by Al Biladi and Al Sharif in 2019 also highlighted how films can promote more attentive listening and greater motivation in students. And well, in our analysis, we compared these findings to the realities of Colombian learners, showing that guided film based instruction, when combined with follow up activities, can be a powerful strategy. And well, methodologically, we adopted a classroom based action research. And it's like an approach which goes with following clear steps, identifying the problem, observing, intervening, and evaluating. This approach allowed us to not only measure outcomes but also create a replicable replicable model that future researchers can adapt to similar educational settings. So, in conclusion, this study provides concrete evidence that films, when carefully planned and guided, can effectively improve both listening comprehension and pronunciation. It provides valuable insights for the Colombian context and offers a practical framework for future research in EFL classrooms. That was basically all. Thanks. Thank you very much for listening.
My name is Charlie Ribon, and now it's time to talk about the contribution to practice. From a practical standpoint, the project offers teachers clear strategies for integrating films into their lessons. For example, activities can be designed before, during, and after the screening of a movie to help students absorb vocabulary, pronunciation, and cultural nuances. This approach not only improves listening and pronunciation, but also increases motivation and confidence. Teachers can replicate these strategies in different contexts, adapting them to the level of their students. Well, now, for institutions like ours, the project represents an opportunity to innovate in language teaching, moving away from purely traditional methods and toward more engaging and effective
practices. Well, now that we talk about all of this, in conclusion, we can say that this project shows that films are more than just entertainment. They are powerful educational tools. By bringing cinema into the classroom, we can strengthen listening and pronunciation, foster motivation, and prepare students for real communication in English. Well, the contributions to knowledge and practice highlight the importance of audiovisual resources in higher education. With careful planning and creative implementation, films can transform the way languages are taught, making learning both effective and enjoyable. Well, now, thank you for joining us in this exploration of how movies can enrich English learning language. Well, bye bye. I hope you liked the video.